Okay, so here we are with Solanna. It's the second month of quiet, and we are now 16 years old. And with the events of the last glow attack, Cal and Tammy are now in a relationship, which we're still kind of figuring out how we feel about that. But it looks like Tammy has something to say, so I guess we could go say hi to her. Tammy beams when she sees you. There's nothing better in the world than the sight of your face. Happy birthday, Solanna, she exclaims. She comes in for her annual birthday hug, throwing her arms around you and giving you a big squeeze. Here, I got you this. She steps back and reaches into one of her many deep pockets of her dress, producing a little paper box. I made you this, she laughs, opening it to reveal a little snack-sized cake. You take a big bite. The cake is light and flavorful and drenched in sugar bug syrup. It's delicious. Thanks to the Helios hydroponics and the help of some native flora and fauna, Tammy's cooking ability has come a long way from dressing up soy ration. Tammy watches you eat the cake with a look of delight and satisfaction. You can share it if you want, she hints, smiling sweetly, if that would make you happy. I don't know. I kind of feel like I want to keep it to myself this time. You enjoy your treat and thank Tammy for her thoughtful present, both the hug and the cake. She smiles and claps her hands. Of course, Solanna, it's your birthday after all. Well, thanks. And there's Tangent, Anemone, you, Vase. I guess we can say hi to Rex and Nomi. Rex holds his hands out, letting flakes of smart snow melt on his hand. I thought snow was supposed to be cold, he says. Is everything on this planet warm? He sticks his tongue out, trying unsuccessfully to catch some flakes on his tongue. Nomi is sitting off to the side all by themselves, despite that there are a few other small groups of teenagers from the Helio here. When you sit with them, they look up from their holopalm with a startled expression. Oh, hi, Solanna, they exclaim, giving you a bright smile. Oh, hi, let me clear space for you. Hi. It's nice to visit with you. The entrance, scary. I guess. Let's go check on our dad. Your dad is sitting on the fence overlooking the animal paddocks, chewing on a piece of grass. Oh, hey, Sugarbean, he says, patting the fence next to him. Come take a look at the wild, dangerous aliens. You watch a float cows bob along peacefully. Ever so often, one of them releases a jet of liquid and lifts up into the air. Your dad laughs every time. Gross, he says. But I guess it's not much more weird than when we used to drink milk from cows and goats. Yeah, I guess so. I'm not really sure what I want to do this month. Maybe seeing and being around Cal and Tammy still kind of hurts and brings up unwanted feelings, so I think I might not work somewhere near them. Maybe we can try leveling up our reasoning skill with Tangent. It's a pity, Tang says, looking at you with a barely concealed disdain. I once thought you had promise as an intellectual equal, but you've let yourself become distracted. Well, I'm going to study now. Life Sciences gives reasoning. This month, you help Chief Engineer Instance try to find a cure for the Shimmer disease with Tang. It doesn't seem like they're making much progress. Oh no. What do these do? I think I might try that. There, yeah. And, I think given the fact that next month is going to be the pollen season, maybe I will still help them work on a cure. You're heading back to your quarters at the end of the day, and you pass by the med bay. You hear shouts and scrambling from within. Several surveyors have come back with serious wounds, not the usual broken limbs and sunstroke. One of them is holding a towel to her own leg, staunching blood flow from a massive animal bite. Another looks nearly blinded from acid. It's chaos in there. We should help. Gosh, it's a good thing you were here. Triaging and getting the most badly wounded into medbeds is difficult, and the others need traditional medical attention while they wait. It's hectic, stressful work, but you're able to keep your head and provide assistance. Good work in there, Solanna, Chief Engineer Instant says. You know, with how the colony has grown, I could use an assistant nurse here. Someone I can trust to take care of things while I'm working in the lab. Come back next month and give me a hand if you're interested. You know what? I think maybe I am interested, because it's a way that I can still help the colony and use the biology that I work so hard to learn, as well as the fact dealing with medical things requires creativity and empathy, which we also have quite a bit of. So I think being a nursing assistant would be a good fit for Solanna. And there we go. And now it's pollen season. We should go check on Dad. And see if there's any collectibles like, usually it's an alien egg. There's Nomi. We can go say hi to them. Rex and Nomi are curled up together, his head on their lap as they watch something on Nomi's hollow palm. Nomi pauses the show and Rex grumbles sleepily. He must have almost drifted off. Hi, Nomi says, scritching behind Rex's ears. Do you want to watch Turbo Girl Hyperjet transform with us? We're almost ready to start the OVAs. Yeah, that sounds fun. And probably a good way to de-stress and... Hey, Dees? Have you been doing okay? Dees jumps out of the bed of an expedition's transport, slapping it fondly on the roof before turning to you. He looks uncommonly comfortable in his skin. Hey, Solanna, he says. It was a good day out there. He doesn't elaborate. Well, that's nice. I hope you're being safe. Oh, Mushwood, over here. And, Dad, are you doing okay? Your dad brightens when he sees you. Why, if it isn't my favorite gooseberry, he wheezes. I'm glad you're not as messed up as your old man. This pollen is no joke. Right. It is going to get really stressful, this pollen, so should I go ahead and maybe take some time off now so that we're fully prepared next month? So I guess... should I relax in the lounge here? Or maybe in geoponics so that I can keep an eye on my dad? You and Cal walk through the park, a special place set aside for growing ornamental plants from Earth. It was grown from a precious seed bank, preserved for over 20 years aboard the Stratospheric before your mother started planting them here on Vertumna. Almost nothing here is grown for food, though many of them are technically edible. It's so green here, Cal says, stopping to smell a bush of fist-sized red flowers with velvety petals. Wow, they smell so sweet. Yeah, my mom worked really hard on this. This park is your mom's legacy. She was the one who brought these flower seeds from Earth and spent the time planting this garden, even when there was so much work to do on the farms. She always seemed like such a sensible, strict person, but here is proof that she had a soft, nostalgic side. You wonder what else you never got the chance to learn from her. It's peaceful here. Cal breathes deep, a funny smile on his face. It really is. This is one of my favorite places in the whole colony. You can really feel the love in every plant. Yeah, one pretty white flower in particular is flourishing here, the Astrantia, your mother's favorite. It seems to be growing faster than even native plants do, covering the paths and bluffs with tiny white stars. You practically have to push clumps of it aside in some places just to make sure you don't crush any. Good thing it's so beautiful. I don't think I want to forget any of those cards. You're awoken by the buzzing of your holopalm. It's a colony-wide alert. You rub your eyes and ponder the thickness of the air seeping into your bedroom through the open veranda door. It's an ominous but beautiful sight. The seasonal pale pink haze has turned a deep fuchsia, with scintillating silver sparkles floating through it. The shimmer. You check your holopalm messages. There's a colony-wide notice telling you to stay put. Yeah, but I wanted to rest up specifically so that I could help in the med bay. You rush to the engineering ring, trying to hold your breath as you pass through the thick clouds of pink sparkling pollen. Security Chief Rhett blocks your way into the med bay. What are you doing here? You should be in your quarters. From the med bay, you hear the sound of sneezing. My dad's sneezing. You shout for him and squirm to try to get past Rhett as he practically lifts you off the ground. You fight until he lets you through. Oh no. Hey, little aubergine, your dad rasps. He looks terrible. He's covered in the shimmer and shaking as he takes pained breaths. Chief Engineer Instant glares at you, but she doesn't tell you to leave right away. You sit beside your father's bedside. Your dad grabs your hand and pulls you close. Your awareness narrows to just the two of you, the rest of the room falling away under the gravity you feel when he locks pink-rimmed eyes with yours. Solanna, my sweet little cherry tomato, he says, trying to smile for you. I don't think your old man's gonna last much longer. You sob and try to pull away in denial, but he just shakes his head. You're gonna make it through this, he wheezes, his voice brittle as a dried flower. I love you so much. Instance tries to separate you so she can administer something, but your dad waves her away. He hasn't stopped staring right at you. You're the greatest thing I ever cultivated, he chokes out. You're gonna be fine. I love... His eyes roll back in his head, and the medbed lets out a horrible, droning whine. Instance yells for you to leave so she can save him, and you flee the room. When they finally let you see him again, your dad is lying in the medbed asleep. The shimmer is all over him now, and his skin is glittery and strangely lumpy, like something's growing out of it. Something is growing out of him, you realize, as you see Instance carefully scrape what looks like fungus from his shoulder. She places it in a petri dish and hands it to Tangent. There are tiny fungal growths all over him, even one poking out from the corner of his mouth. You watch with disgust as the thick trickle of glittering pink dust leaps off the tip of it and disperses into the air. Tang places the sample from your dad under an analyzer and turns it on. She looks tired. I'm sorry, Solanna, she mumbles. We were close. You're so frustrated. You've dreamed of this awful day, and just like in the dream, you can only watch as your father dies. If only you could have helped and find a cure. You sit with him for a while, until Dr. Instant sends you back to your quarters to rest. In the early hours of the morning, you hear that your dad has passed away. You spend most of the next month in your quarters.